This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, LightBlindedFool, Green Man, Deyvis Ferreira, Margaret, Big C, Bennett Williamson, Dylan C, Hannah Green, Noralia, Jordan Gower, Geof Searles, Erik Reed, Greysin Ishara, and Ashlee Bradley. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Luke Parrott to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support. We really, truly appreciate it. In this episode, we are talking about Chapter 12 of The Gathering Storm.
Yeah, Chapter 12 is Unexpected Encounters. All right, so we have Egwene doing a whole bunch of stuff.
I really liked this chapter.
Yeah, a little bit of a time jump, too, it seems.
Yeah, I feel like over the last few books, the things I've been very interested in have surprised me.
Right.
I'm really interested in this entire Black Aja Hunter situation.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in what's happening with Egwene.
Political maneuvering.
I really do like it. Like,
we
it's
got her.
surprising
We got
to me.
you. We got you.
It's like medium political maneuvering.
It is 100% political maneuvering.
The Elaine whole Camelin situation, that whole Andor Great Houses thing,
Also
is
political.
still a snorefest.
That's only because it was Elaine. You don't like Elaine.
No, I don't think so, because now I have been thinking that I really owe Egwene a little bit of an apology.
Okay, probably, but why?
I don't know, I feel like it was really hard on her
Sure.
in the beginning.
Okay.
And I really appreciate her. And the things I appreciate about her right now are the exact same things that I was upset with her for before. Because she was really out of line and didn't really know how to understand authority or hierarchy or how to get ahead in certain situations. But here, I like the authority, and I like it's the exact same thing.
Yeah,
but
like
now
she
I
hasn't
like
changed.
It.
She hasn't changed at all.
No, I love her. I love it. I love it so much.
Okay.
And I wonder if reading back, I'll like Egwene more than I did originally.
I mean, maybe like
because
Egwene,
she really annoyed me before.
She is a hot topic character.
I believe that.
People feel strongly about her. Like it's a love hate thing because sometimes I love her and sometimes I really hate her. You know, It's both. She's both.
Okay, well, I love this.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I'm ready to take some notes. Like, so in my journal, I feel like I've really been lacking on the journal note-taking.
Yeah, we get a flurry of notes here, so...
Yeah, I'm gonna want to make sure I know who everybody is here.
Yeah, names. Lots of names.
Yeah,
That's
and I'm gonna flip back to my original Black Aja Hunter list, and we'll see from there. Because this was one of those chapters that I started listening to, and was like, ooh, I really wish I had my notes to look back on right now.
Wish I knew who any of these people were.
Yes.
I know Egwene.
Yeah.
I know that one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'm going to kick us out with a fun fact. Okay. And this one, it's really mostly for me because it's a Brandon Sanderson interview. And I was searching around and found a bit of an answer to the question that I had. And if any of this information has changed since this answer came out, I need someone to step in and help me now.
Let you know,
finally. So the question is from 2012. And it was a Memory of Light update panel at DragonCon. So they were talking to Brandon Sanderson about how's A Memory of Light going. Now, I'm going to clip the important stuff out of this conversation. I'm going to leave some of it out for obvious reasons.
Ooh, okay.
So the question is...
Spoilers, that's the obvious reason.
That's the obvious reason, because it's A Memory of Light. We are not yet there.
Got it.
So the question is, I was wondering if it's possible for scholarship in future generations if we at some point could get a copy that's annotated so we can tell which passages came directly from Robert Jordan. Like a color-coded system or something, because as you've been intermingling them, I think it would be interesting to see and go back and say, oh, this is what he originally wrote. So we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Right. Like I want to see which came from where and
I know, just because.
Just for fun.
Yeah,
like it doesn't need to be super official, just a little bit. So Sanderson's answer was, it will be very hard to do simply because, you would have a lot of sentences that would have 4 colors in them. Because here's 3 words from Brandon, here's a couple words from Robert Jordan, the rest are from Harriet that she's edited, and then there's the insertion from Maria as she's doing the copy edit that something needed to be put in. It would be very difficult to get right. The other thing, Harriet has several times expressed a reluctance to let people see the notes because she doesn't want people focusing when reading the books on what was me and what is Jim.
Yes.
Also, totally fair.
That's my stance on that too.
Yeah, and I do know that some of the notes have been released. I don't know the full extent, and I haven't been able to go in. We've talked about that before too. But then he goes on to say, one thing that I've said to people a number of times, that in each of the 3 books, there's the prologue scene that Robert Jordan wrote almost completely or completely for the prologue of the book, and then since we split into 3, I took one scene from each completely that is Robert Jordan's. And there are a few fragments in each prologue as well that were also his. But there's one complete scene in the prologue. In the first book, it was the farmer sitting on the doorsteps watching the storm. That was one of the scenes he dictated, and we actually at JordanCon got to listen to that dictation.
Oh,
so that is very cool that Robert Jordan actually dictated the scene.
Yeah.
At JordanCon.
Well, yeah, and that one, I was like, oh, this feels different. I feel like I even, critiqued it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And now I need to go and dig it up and find that.
You didn't know that
I've
before?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't know everything.
Okay.
I usually act like I do.
You know what? I believe you, yeah.
But in fact, I do not. So anyways, but yeah, so I'll leave it there, but it's pretty cool. And I like the fact that there are the scenes that are his.
Yeah.
So.
No, and I don't like the idea of picking apart every line in detail. And,
I know.
Yeah.
But also, I want to. I want to. Not here, not now.
No.
But, I do want to.
I know.
Okay. Anyways, now we can continue.
Okay. So, chapter 12 is called Unexpected Encounters, and I like it. The chapter symbol is the 2 faces, the black and white for dark friends situation.
Black Aja and such.
Right. And now, is it because there is a Black Aja that we meet with? Or because we're with the Black Aja hunters?
Exactly, or we're talking about it. It's a topic of discussion.
Mm-hmm.
That's up to you to decide, I suppose.
Okay. Now, we are with Egwene, and she is walking through the halls of the tower with her Red Aja guards.
Yep.
And it's been, quote, well over a month since Swan gave Egwene all that disturbing news.
Yeah.
So she's been in the tower here now for a while.
5 weeks, because I think that was about the 10-day mark-ish, somewhere around there.
Well, okay. Well over a month. She doesn't say it has been a month.
Well, yeah, okay, fair.
She hasn't said, she doesn't say it's been a month. Well over a month might be a month and a half.
Yeah, it's is that
right?
5 weeks, 6 weeks? What is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, yep.
Okay, so she's probably been here for almost 2 months now.
Okay.
I'd say.
Okay, that's a fair estimation.
Bet.
I like it.
But the timeline in this book, I'm going to reiterate, feels a little all over the place.
Yeah, I actually wanted to speak to that too. I mean, a little bit off the record here, but what will help, and this is something that was... I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about it, but the books are kind of written in clusters of viewpoints because Brandon Sanderson did his best to keep a full story within each book.
Yeah.
So for a lot of the books, there's the cluster viewpoint. So we're going to get a lot of certain characters.
Okay, and then we might head a little bit back in time to catch up with characters.
Exactly, with a different cluster, situation. And then eventually we'll all kind of come together. But for the beginning part here, cluster viewpoints.
Yeah, because we haven't seen Matt yet.
Yeah. And it's not like we're going to skip months and months ahead necessarily and never see, except for that time when he was crushed under a wall.
For the time we did do that.
Except we do that. But yeah, so cluster viewpoints is a good way to think about that and not worry too much about it.
It's hard for me to not worry about the timeline.
It's one giant book.
I know.
One giant book.
Okay, all right. Now, all that disturbing news that Egwene is thinking of is the stuff about the Forsaken and the rebel camp.
Yeah, but more important, Rand allowing
right? Women to be bonded.
Exactly.
Aes Sedai to be bonded, more specifically to Ashman.
How could he?
How could he let that happen?
How dare he? How could he?
Ugh, he needs to be controlled.
He is very different than the boy.
He's out of control.
Yeah, he's no longer the Two Rivers, innocent Rand that she used to be.
Yeah, but she does say, well, to be fair, I'm also not the innocent innkeeper's daughter that I used to be, so... Yeah. And then she starts thinking about Gawain and how she used to steal kisses with him.
Yeah.
And how it's been a long time.
So
it's
sweet.
been a long time since that happened.
Hopefully he's somewhere safe and taking care of himself, and it's
he is not doing anything.
He's doing very poorly. He's not doing well.
He is not on your side.
No.
Even though he'd like to be, we think.
Yeah. Well, he was
But
like
he's
almost.
not
He was
yet.
almost there.
Yeah.
He was like, "Ooh, maybe
He's
I should be on the side of all the people that I care about."
indecision.
Right? Ooh.
Gets the best of Gawain. Now, she really is thinking about that Halima
Right.
who has touched her
Right.
and how she probably should have figured out that all of a sudden her headache stopped.
You know, we got to cut her some slack here. And
Yeah.
there's a little bit of evidence here that I want to bring up. So she thinks like, hey, whoa, those headaches disappeared as soon as I was captured and away from Halima.
Why didn't I even think about it?
Right.
Yeah.
But maybe, just maybe, there's like a little bit of a hint of, okay, was there something magical? Was there like a teensy bit of compulsion that
What do you
Halima
mean
did?
maybe? I feel like I already came to that conclusion that there
I'm
in
just
fact
saying-
was.
I'm just saying, like, maybe this can build on that theory that maybe there's a magical reason why she didn't
Yeah, definitely.
consider it ever.
Yeah,
It
I would
never
say that
came
like
up.
almost 100%.
Yeah.
There's
And-
definitely, probably definitely
Probably definitely.
a magical component to that.
Yes, and then the big question is like, what other traps did Halima set? Like, what is she going to walk into? Or what are the other Aes Sedai going to walk into magical traps she was laying around?
Oh, yeah,
Right?
okay.
Okay.
Now, Egwene is still going for punishments all the time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's been 2 months of just straight punishments every day still.
She's progressed.
Yeah, but she also really appreciates Sylviana and
Yeah.
her willingness to do her duty.
Yes, absolutely. I meant
Yeah.
she's progressed in like her ability to take the punishments.
Yeah,
Because,
she's able to laugh during it.
yeah, when we saw her last time, she was like not there yet, but she was getting there. She's like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, I can't laugh yet."
but that
but,
had
like,
only been like a week.
right, and now it's like a month and a half, 2
Yeah.
months. Like we don't really know exactly, but she is doing better on that.
Yeah.
But it is kind of funny because she's like, "Ooh," because in comparison, nothing could be as bad as what is happening to the White Tower right now.
Overall, the greater pain is what's been done to Tar Valon.
Yes. Ooh.
Ooh.
She's kind of like this little martyr. Like,
Yeah, I know. She certainly is.
She plays it really well.
Yeah. Now, she passes some novices in the hall, and they nod to her and curtsy, and she's like, oh, I hope they don't get penances for doing that.
It's like, probably will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Egwene is heading towards the Brown Aja because she's meeting with Maidani today,
Mm-hmm.
but also the Brown quarters are still where the
Yes.
novice quarters should be, and it's like all
Yeah.
still a mess.
Yes. It all.
And at some point, like actually several times during this chapter, it's talked about how the corridors and everything are all moving around almost daily at this
Yeah,
point.
and it's like they got no solutions. You're
None.
like, how do I?
Oh, well, none.
it
How do
just-
you even do
How
that?
do you tell? It just teleport. I can't.
No, they don't even know traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people are like, I don't want to move my room.
You
But I'm going to
can't.
go move into a tiny little novice room? I don't think
Can't
so.
do it.
Give novices a big old Aja suite?
Oh my gosh.
Ugh.
Unthinkable.
That would be worse to give the novices something
think.
nice.
That would be the greatest pain of all.
Oh, man. Okay. How would they learn their, character and
Oh,
such?
they wouldn't. They wouldn't learn any
Right.
character.
Okay.
Okay.
So here's the thing. There is
Yeah.
the other Brown that she is going to be meeting with.
Okay, who's that?
Okay, we actually know her. So it's Bennett Nalsad, and she offered to teach Egwene today, and this is a repeat lesson, and that's the first time it's happened for Egwene. She's like, oh, people never repeat lessons, because you
Right.
do know that Aes Sedai hate teaching.
Yeah, they
It's the
really don't
worst-
want to do it.
They don't want to do it. But we actually saw this lesson take place in Knife of Dreams, chapter 24, when they start talking about history and Chunla, and Egwene casually mentioned, because this is a Brown, right? She casually mentions the existence of the 13th
Oh,
depository
yeah, I do actually have
with
that
all
here.
the secret histories.
Yeah.
So Egwene was like, ooh, I planted seeds. I wonder, maybe we've made some progress, and maybe that's why I'm getting invited back, or it's something like absolutely terrible.
Well, because she feels like she planted a seed.
Yeah,
I remember.
right.
Okay, so Egwene is going to get inside and start this lesson, and Bennett is just going to take her through a bunch of super simple weaves that Egwene can do even though she's pork-rooted.
Yeah, and that's actually the way it started last time, too, in that initial meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Did, like, all the basic stuff, and she's like, okay, you're good at that. It's like, yeah, she's still good at this.
Yeah, and then she's like, ooh, but do you have the sharpness of mind and the ability to deal with difficult situations that Aes Sedai are required to deal with?
Like when your bosses are being mean to you.
Yeah.
It's like, can you handle it?
Coworker disputes.
Oh,
How-
okay.
how do you
what
go-
would you do
yeah.
in this situation? I hate it.
Mhm.
In this hypothetical
It's
situation.
the worst interview situation. I
yeah.
know. I hate that too.
Punch him in the face. Like what? I
Okay,
don't know.
so Bennett lays out a scenario.
Yeah.
Let's say
hold on.
What?
She's laying out a hypothetical, in no way real situation.
That her friend told her about one time.
This is happening to a friend of mine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely not happening to me.
It's not happening
personally.
to me. It's happening to a friend of mine at her
Okay.
job.
Hypothetical scenario.
Right.
Let's say you're in a situation where you're in a conflict with some members of your own Aja, and the Aja leaders are upset with you because you found out information you weren't even supposed to know.
Right.
And now you're being punished. Like, they're trying to sweep you under the rug and forget about you completely.
Yeah, like, what do you do?
What do you even do?
What do you do?
In that situation?
I love it, because Egwene's like, whoa, that wasn't subtle at all.
Yeah.
It's like literally the thing that the seed I planted last time, you did the thing, and now, like, there's consequences to your actions.
Turns out.
Okay, shoot.
Like the whole 13th depository thing?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, so
I'm just making sure I remember.
Yes, because when we saw that meeting, Egwene was like, whoa, what about all these secret libraries? And then the library Aja was like, what secret libraries? And she's like, well, this is all the secret stuff.
Yeah,
and she's
yeah.
like, whoa. And then Egwene was like, maybe you should talk to somebody about that.
Yeah.
And then
And
clearly she has,
Yeah,
and now she's in trouble
that makes
for
sense.
asking about the secret histories and all that.
So Egwene is like, well, maybe that person who's definitely hypothetical
Yeah.
should consider it from the viewpoint of the Aja leaders, because they're probably concerned that the secrets have been revealed and are wondering if there's a leak amongst their trusted members.
It's like, how did you find out all these secrets?
Yeah.
Who told you? Because only, like, I know the names of everyone who knows this. Who told you?
Yes.
Right.
And the best way to handle the situation is to reassure them that it's not their fault that the information was leaked.
Yeah.
And Benet's like, yeah, but what about the punishments?
That's the worst
I'm just,
part.
Like,
I don't want to be
dusting the library, and I don't want to do it anymore.
Don't want to do that.
Yeah.
How do I get out of that?
And Egwene explains that it's obvious that some people are trusted with these secrets.
Right.
And she should advocate for herself to become one of the caretakers of the secrets, because now that she knows.
It's like, hey, I know it. Why can't I just also do this secret job? Because like I can't not know it anymore.
Yeah.
Can't just forget everything. So just like I want I want a bit of a promotion or a lateral move at least, you know?
Yeah. And Benet's like, yes, but will it work? And Egwene's like, well, it's better than getting shoved into the back of the library.
Better than your non-hypothetical nothing plan. Like yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then she does hit her with the advice Sylviana gave her, and it's like, hey, if you accept the position of punishment, if you just like take it long enough, you're gonna start believing that you deserve it, and then you're just gonna be there forever.
Right.
So you should probably do something about that.
Yeah. Now, Egwene ends by saying, I'm always willing to help Bennett in hypothetical situations, of course.
Right. In this not real situation. So, and she also uses her first name.
Yeah. And Bennett bows her head in a bit of thanks.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's a pretty good first meeting.
Yeah.
I think. That went pretty well.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, and it feels like there's a bit of a trend in all of these meetings that we see here.
Yeah.
And it feels like Egwene is almost being tested.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, she's having her own sort of like Amerlin seat testing.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
Like each one of the Ajas is like almost wondering if she can handle being like of all Ajas kind of thing, you know?
Right. Okay.
I don't know.
I like it. Like you do have to, I can kind of understand that. But also it's kind of like I said, I can't come up with actual hypothetical situations.
Yeah.
And they're like, if I can kill two birds with one stone here.
Right. No, that's funny.
Yeah, because she clearly is having like her own actual problem.
Yeah.
Bennett here, so.
All right. Now, after Egwene leaves that meeting, there's a messenger here to say she has another meeting invitation before the Maidani meeting.
Right.
So, Egwene goes off to meet with Nagora, who's a white Aja.
Yes, and we actually have seen her before, too.
Ooh, where?
In chapter 24 also of Knife of Dreams.
Okay, let me flip. Hold on. Let me see.
Okay.
Let me go back there. Nope.
Okay, it was a pretty minor, it was a minor thing.
I don't think I wrote that name down. Okay.
Right, so Egwene meets with Lyanna in, like, the prison, like, right there.
Yeah.
And Nagora is one of the three whites who were having some sort of, like, incoherent discussion.
Oh, yeah, I definitely didn't write that name down.
Yeah, they were talking about, like, reality or something, and then I tried to figure out what the conversation was actually saying, and I don't think I got very far on it.
Oh,
but, like, I was trying to decipher if there was, like, some actual... They were basically talking about ghosts.
Yeah.
You know? And
sure.
how real are the ghosts?
How real are the ghosts? Okay.
Yeah. Real enough.
Yeah. And this one really feels like a test. to see if Egwene can also be...
Like, think like a white?
Like, think logically.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because she does, like, logic puzzles.
Yeah. Now, in this meeting, not only does she do, like, a bunch of puzzles, but she has to do a bunch of sort of tests, and one of them sounds really familiar to the previous meeting.
Yeah, like a hypothetical, not hypothetical.
Yeah.
Like, hey, here's this thing that my friend is having problems with.
Yeah, what would an Aes Sedai do if they were dealing with a warder who's getting frustrated with getting old and being unable to fight like he used to be able to?
Get a new warder.
Yeah, but
Simple.
what about the warder who you care about, presumably?
Doesn't matter. Get a new one.
Well, Egwene has a better, more logical solution.
We don't know what her answer is. Thank you very much. We don't get an answer.
Egwene gives her opinion.
Yeah, but we don't see what that opinion is.
Oh, weird. I thought she, like, gave opinions. Like, oh, maybe he should be a trainer of other warders or something.
That would be a good idea.
But no, I don't know where I came up with that in my head.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely not in the book. You're right.
But, okay, maybe it's like, somewhere else. I don't know. I don't know. But it wasn't there.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, logic without flaw.
Good
it was
job.
amazing. Good answer.
Good job, Egwene.
Good answer. Good answer.
Good answer.
It's like,
yeah. Well, anyway, so that's gonna finish, and Egwene is going to get another message.
Yeah, one more.
To go to Suana.
Yes.
Who we know.
We do, but do you know? You said that like you... Are you confident that we know her?
No, let me look. Hold on.
Okay, all right.
Okay, all I have on Suana here is that she was newly raised as a sitter after the tower split.
Okay.
And it's suspicious because she's young for a sitter, and she also might be the head of the Yellow Aja.
Yeah, we do know she is the head of the Yellow Aja.
She is.
Yeah, she's the first weaver.
Confirmed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can fill that in here then.
Yeah, and we do know that all the heads of the Ajas, like, we're having she's not a Black Aja hunter.
Okay.
But yeah, they were having, like, their little secret meetings and all that stuff.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay, so Suana is yellow and the head of that Aja.
First weaver.
First weaver.
First weaver.
Right. Oh my gosh.
You gotta know. You gotta know.
Yep.
And most importantly...
And a sitter.
Most importantly, her room looks like a garden.
Oh, yeah.
Which Nynaeve would probably be super stoked about.
Yeah, because she's like, they don't even like herbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here she is, like, boom, look at this jungle.
Yeah.
Great.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, so at this meeting, they start the lesson with some healing-like weaves, and eventually the conversation shifts to Suana saying the Yellows would like to have Egwene in their Aja.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
And Egwene is like, I don't have skill in healing,
like,
really.
She's not very good at all,
yeah.
So.
And Suana's like, yeah, but it isn't about that. It's about passion. Passion for making things well and fixing what's broken.
It's like, sure.
Yeah.
Sure it is.
Well, I like that, though.
Okay.
Because I think that I'm yellow.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And so I like that definition of it.
Well, it's good that Nynaeve also
because
has
I'm like,
passion.
like, I'm not a nurse and I'm not a,
yeah.
like, doctor. Like, I'm not a healer, per se.
Right.
But there's not a place where, like, a teacher fits in very nicely in the Ajas.
There should be. But there should be, but there's not.
Yeah, most
That's
of them actually hate teaching.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a thing they don't like to do very often.
Yeah.
But I would feel like that definition at least helps me fit in.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I get it. But anyways, let's get to Egwene's
she says,
answer.
Thanks, but the Amerlin has no Aja.
It's like, okay.
And then Suana's like, yes, but she's raised from one.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it.
So, actually,
I don't know. This
she's
is
already
really
she's
promising.
already been raised. Thanks, no thanks.
I know,
Yeah.
but I'm really thinking like, okay, so I guess the sitters and maybe the heads of the Ajas, they're thinking about how we get rid of Elida.
Okay.
And if Egwene, is wandering all around.
Yeah, talking to everybody all the time.
Proclaiming that she's the Amerlin. Okay, we bring down Elida. And
step 1, bring down Elida.
Yeah, step two, we have Egwene.
Okay.
And if we all agree that Egwene is going to be our next Amyrlin seat, like officially like in the White Tower,
Yeah.
then probably they'd like to have some kind of ceremony for her.
For
maybe.
sure. Okay.
Especially these ones who didn't see her get raised.
Yeah.
And they're in this hall.
Whatever helps them
and
be
they
like, ooh,
don't
it's
believe-
official now.
Yeah, because they don't believe that that other hall even has any power or say.
Right.
And so they might want to do it themselves. So then she'd have to have an Aja and
Do it
be
right,
raised
yeah,
from it.
yeah.
And I think the Yellows would like to say that they have an Amyrlin raised from the Yellow.
That's
'Cause
not bad for
apparently-
the scorecard.
Yeah, because apparently that's a whole thing that matters.
Yes.
Because even Egwene was telling some of the Reds, oh, it's a shame the first Amyrlin raised from the Red Aja in however long really sucks.
So it's really important for the Ajas to get an Amyrlin up there, because when you get an Amyrlin elected from your Aja, you get basically Aja points, and then at the end of each year they tally up those points, and then you win like a trophy or something, basically, for best Aja.
No. Okay. No, I don't. Okay. I know what you're doing, and it's not funny.
That was funny. That was funny. Like, get you in the first half there.
I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I know you're being stupid, but I was like, oh, now you're stretching for a Harry Potter
I got
stuff.
it. I got it, though.
Yeah, except it's the House Cup. No,
Right.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't even know if they get a trophy.
I'm pretty sure
Do
it's
they
a
get
trophy.
a trophy?
It's a cup
The
or
banner
something.
of sorts?
I don't think. I don't think
It's the House Cup. It's
right.
probably
It's
a
probably
trophy.
like a trophy, but it's like probably like a.
But all the
British-
points
it's like
are
a British trophy.
willy-nilly just handed out on the last day.
It does. God. Okay, it's fine. Okay, let's do it.
Okay. All right, fine. Because of Harry Potter.
Right.
Because of the houses. Okay, let's take a quick break and I'll get the shots. I'm
All
mad
right.
at you now, though.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I don't even want to cheers you for that one.
Yeah.
That was so bad. You think you're so funny?
Yeah, I do. I do sometimes.
Okay, cheers. Oh, man.
The vodka's getting worse, I think.
It's getting so bad. I don't like that. Ugh. Okay. All right. Well, back to Suana, who wants Egwene in the yellow Aja.
Yeah.
And Egwene's like, nope, not how it works.
Yeah. Doesn't get reprimanded for saying all the things that she's been saying.
None
you
of
know
it.
what? Also, just like as a side note, you want the Amyrlin to be the one who keeps saying, I'm the Amyrlin.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's one of those whole things. Like, if you say it enough, it's going to come true.
Right.
It's
She's
just
manifesting. We've
it's-
talked about this.
It's the reverse of the demotion thing.
It is the reverse of that.
Right?
Yeah. You just say it enough.
Say it enough, and boom, that's how you become.
It's like Nellie
right.
in The Office.
She's the manager.
And Pam
Right.
as the office administrator.
Yes.
You just decide that that's the job. You just
so many
think
examples.
you think about the job you want.
Yeah.
And then you just start telling people you have it.
Exactly. Even if it's not true.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just create jobs for
I
yourself.
think we're onto something here.
You
I
know
like
what?
this.
I like it.
No one's thought of this before. There's
No one.
There's
except that
all the examples we just gave,
yeah.
but that's fine. It's all fake though. All fake examples.
I know. No, I think people have done this in real life.
Okay.
For sure. For sure they have.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, Egwene gets a little bold in this conversation, and she starts to ask Suana about the sitters,
Right.
and if they have talked about the tension between the Ajas.
Yeah.
And Suana's like, well, I don't know what can be done.
Yeah.
And Egwene's like, well, someone has to take the first step, and if the sitters are seen eating together or walking together and hanging out, it might make a difference.
Right.
And Suana's like, I'll think about it.
Yeah.
I'll think about that.
It's a good idea. That's
It's a great idea, but I don't think Suana wants to do it.
No, I don't want to have lunch with these idiots.
Yeah. Have you seen the state of everything?
Exactly.
Yeah. Of course I don't want to actually deal with anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Why would I have lunch with other people when I could eat lunch in my office alone by myself?
You know what?
I don't understand.
There's
what
something to be said for that. For
What are
sure,
you getting
for
at
sure.
here?
Yeah.
Your suggestion is terrible.
Yeah, but she clearly thinks about it and then dismisses Egwene.
Yeah.
But now Egwene really has to hustle to get
Yeah.
to her Maidani meeting.
But first off, good for Egwene for going to 3 meetings in a row. Didn't get any punishments.
No punishments.
And she called 2 of them by their first names. Very bold.
And outright called herself the Amyrlin
Yes, that too.
several times.
That's like not new now. It's like,
no,
whoa.
no, but she should get like
yeah,
marked
exactly.
down for punishment for that.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay, now her fourth and last meeting
Yeah.
is with Maidani.
Is the one that was supposed to happen.
Well, okay, there's a meeting with Maidani, and then that meeting gets taken to a secondary location.
Right, never go to the
and
secondary
then there's
location.
like a meeting within a meeting.
Yeah, that's still part of the initial meeting.
So that's
though.
like meeting 4.1, you know?
Exactly.
Okay, so this
Subsection,
is the fourth meeting.
Yeah.
Maidani.
Okay.
Now, we all know who Maidani is.
Right. She's the one who is...
Who loves maps.
Yeah.
She really loves maps.
I love
how Egwene's like,
that's not the most...
who would have a framed map on their wall as I'm like sitting here staring at her?
The framed map.
But it's of a fictional place. We have a framed map of a fictional land.
Yeah.
We don't even have a framed map of a real land.
No, we don't. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeesh. Anyways, that is not the most important part about who Maidani is the fact that she likes maps.
I know, but that whole description goes on and on and on about how much she must love to travel.
That's true.
Because of all her maps and all her stuff from everywhere, and how it all has plaques from where she got it from.
She's got like Aiel spears and the Alteran marriage knife and even a rug from Ishara, but Egwene's like, how could this person who did all these things be the same person who's like
sniveling in
Elida's study, right?
Yeah.
Being forced to have dinner, and what's going on with that. So, and we know why, because she's being forced to, basically, but still.
Because of oaths.
Because of oaths.
Magic oaths.
Exactly. Gets you every time.
That Egwene does get up on her hypocritical high horse again this chapter.
She does. Gets right up there. And, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get there first.
Sure.
We got to do this first part of the meeting.
Okay. Egwene thinks that she's gonna get punished because she didn't get to washing the floors like she was supposed to. But that's besides the point. No time. Okay. Now, Egwene starts this meeting by saying, you took your time summoning me.
Yeah, it's been like literally over a month. Yeah. Since the whole soup spilling incident.
Yeah.
And then she's like, Maidani, summon me.
That must mean that Elida didn't get Egwene to come back and serve her again.
Not yet.
Yeah, but it's been a while.
Yeah.
Realistically, Elida. Like, let's say I'm Elida.
Sure.
And I have this person who's, like, pretending to be the Amyrlin.
Elida's super busy, and she definitely thinks that Egwene is, like, basically cowed already.
I know, but when you specifically say, I'm gonna have you back here again.
Yeah.
Like, as this huge, crazy threat.
Schwann would tell you, if there's no time frame, then it's open-ended.
Oh, for sure. But if you really want to make your point,
yeah,
you know, you don't just like forget about it.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah. I see where you're coming from. Anyways, so Egwene's like, whoa, took your sweet time. And Maidani's like,
I didn't want to be suspicious.
Yeah. And
besides, I'm not sure how to regard you.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't care how you regard me.
You have to obey me. Just do what I say.
The Amyrlin just needs to be obeyed.
Yeah. So it's like a whole big long back and forth.
And Maidani's like, but you've been captured and overthrown, and the rebel hall will have chosen a new Amyrlin by now. And Egwene's like, well, yeah, I'm captured.
Captured, yes. Overthrown, no.
No.
And no to the new Amyrlin. No, I know
and it's
that.
It's like, Maidani, you just said a month ago that I'm your Amyrlin. Now you're changing your mind again?
What are you doing?
How unlike an Aes Sedai are you?
I know.
Aes Sedai's never change their mind on anything.
You know, sometimes they don't. But then Maidani's like, oh, you were picked as a puppet to be manipulated. You don't have any real power here.
And Egwene's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
She just stares her down.
No, yeah. Just like straight stare down session too. But you can see that Maidani like starts to break a little bit too. Like she's not very strong-willed.
Well, Egwene is getting the upper hand by just not talking.
Yeah.
She's just not even acknowledging those things.
Yeah.
And then finally she says, now tell me exactly why you haven't fled the tower. You must know how much danger you're in, since Elida is aware of your allegiance.
Yeah, like Elida knows the entire plan, and Egwene knows that Elida knows. And Maidani knows
says,
that Elida knows.
Maidani says?
Can't.
I cannot say.
Can't.
And Egwene's like, well, I'm commanding you to. And she goes, I still can't. Can't do it.
Yeah, literally can't.
Now, Egwene is super curious about this whole situation.
Yeah.
But she's getting a little bit frustrated. And she's like, okay, you've clearly betrayed us then.
Yeah. Like, that's the only conclusion here, because you're kind of flip-flopping even. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and then so she's like, did you go to Elida's side before you were exposed or after the whole Baonin told you everything thing?
Yeah, it was a thing because she came in and spilled all the beans, and it's like,
Yeah.
at what point were you no longer on my side?
Yeah, and then Maidani gets all pissed. She's like, what? No, I never betrayed our cause.
It's like, you literally are by doing the things you're doing, but like can't.
She's like,
can't
I hate Elida and what she's done. And I can't wait till she's not the Amerlin anymore. Like,
it's like,
she
what's
needs
happening?
to be pulled down.
Yeah. Like, why are you going for dinner all the time? What's happening?
Cannot
like, why?
say.
Can't say.
Can't say.
Okay.
And then Gwen's like, well, then why? Why are you there? Well, we used to be pillow friends, and the others decided that I should try to renew that and gain information.
And Gwen's like, that is a terrible plan.
Yes.
You have to understand that's a terrible plan.
Yeah, and she's
like,
like, but they told me I have to do it, and I have to.
Yeah.
And then that's when Egwene's gears start turning.
I also love it because Egwene kind of goes into like tough love mode, and she's like, okay, sit up straight, stop whining, and
tough
act like an
love it is, idiot.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, you're not some novice, you're an Aes Sedai, start acting like it. And then Egwene does kind of start figuring out what's going on here. She's like, okay.
You can't tell me what's wrong, and I think the 3 oaths are involved somehow.
Yeah, like, I don't know how, but it's like somehow.
All right, we can work around the problem. You can't tell me why you've remained in the tower, but can you show me?
Yeah.
And Maidani's like, I don't know. Maybe I could take you, but I don't know.
It's also one of those things where it's like, maybe for another person, she might have hypothetically thought about, like, clearly she hasn't thought about bringing Egwene to them, but like up until now, Maidani didn't really want to have anything to do with Egwene again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like she just didn't think of like, ooh, I should show you. It's just like she didn't want to be in this position at all.
No.
Yeah,
she didn't want to do any of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
None of it. None of this is good for her. But now that Egwene's bringing it up, it's like, okay, well, maybe I should go down this path.
Right. So now they have a conversation about how to leave the Grey Aja section of the tower, I guess. And Maidani's like, well, I guess you could sneak out this passageway and we gotta go when we're not gonna be seen.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things going on here. So the Red Aja guards that Egwene has, they're not allowed to enter the other Aja sections because there's all the tension. So they have to like wait outside. But then also Maidani spills the beans that the Red Aja are watching like all the Aja's entrances and exits and stuff, like everywhere.
Yeah.
So the Reds are being super sneaky because like why are the the Red Aja spying on other Aes Sedai?
Right.
For like
so
no reason.
So the situation's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, it's bad in the tower. I don't know if we talked about that before, but it's not
bad.
Good. Yeah.
It's bad. Mm-hmm. It's the greatest pain.
It's so bad. I would rather be dead than see the tower. She says it at one point.
She says that later.
I'd rather be
dead.
Oh,
you're spoiling it, Brett.
Oh, no.
We're going to get to there.
Than see the tower in this state. Terrible. Okay.
Yeah, but then Egwene's like, don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'm going to show you something, but you have to swear you will never reveal any of it without my permission.
Don't even say it. Okay, but you say it.
Okay, well...
Maidani can't say it.
Okay, so because Egwene is fork-rooted, she can't really make a gateway right now.
Yeah, she can like trace the pattern.
Yeah.
She can't open it though.
She shows Maidani the weaves for traveling and explain how it all works, and Maidani's like, holy shit. So
that's basically what she says.
They open up a gateway and they step into the sub-basements.
Yeah, and Egwene actually thinks at first, like, oh, we're going to the basements because there's nobody here. And she's like, oh, Maidani's smart for opening this up somewhere nobody's going to be.
Right.
But then when they go through, and then Maidani starts going deeper, she's like,
why
are we going deeper into the spooky dungeon?
Yeah.
Not towards the stairs and then, like, up to the tower again. Like, what's happening?
Right. And so they have to move quick because they have to be back before the red bodyguards show up and, like, expect Egwene
back from the lesson. Yeah.
So they head through all the twists and turns and eventually come to a closed door that doesn't look any different than the rest, and Maidani hesitates and then knocks.
Yeah, I do like the warning that Maidani gives right before, though. She's like, oh, it's going to be dangerous. It's a good warning. But Egwene thinks, oh, like political danger or physical danger.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter because you can't do anything now, basically.
Yeah.
Like, you're in it here. And it's kind of funny, too, because, again, she takes that whole Amerlin stance where she says, if something dangerous is happening in the tower, I must know of it. It's not only my right, but my duty.
My duty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I do kind of like her for
well,
this.
That's true.
Yeah.
Sure.
If we're playing into this whole I'm Amaryllis thing, like, I guess so. I guess so.
We got to do it.
Yeah. So, yeah, they knock, and then, boom, Warder opens the door.
Warder opens the door.
He doesn't look happy.
No.
Because
and
he sees
notices
Egwene. He's like,
and is like,
no.
And a woman inside tells Maidani to come in, and so the warder steps to the side, and we see that there are 4 Aes Sedai in here, each from a different Aja, and they are all sitters.
Oh my goodness! And we know, but Egwene doesn't know yet, but she knows who they are.
She does know.
She doesn't know what
are.
the heck is happening in this dungeon cell, basically. It's not a dungeon cell, but, it's a storeroom.
Right.
They have boxes to sit on.
Okay.
I feel like they could have brought in chairs.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, it's been how long? How long have they been doing this?
Yeah, but, like, how are you dragging chairs down here? Maybe if there's other rooms in the basements that have chairs?
There's gotta be, like, an extra...
Yeah, maybe it makes it
here.
feel like sneakier.
Maybe.
You know? It's like part of the clubhouse situation.
Yeah.
They also could just, like, weave... I guess maybe they don't want to channel down there, because... No, they do
channel down there.
Sounds like you could just make chairs out of air.
Yeah, okay.
That's something that they can do, isn't it?
I guess so.
Okay.
Doesn't come up very often.
No, it doesn't. Okay, so there are 4 in here. That means there's 1 missing, and it's Pavara.
Yes.
Pavara, the red sitter, is missing.
Yeah, because Egwene specifically notes that there are no reds down here.
That's right. Okay, so we have Yukiri of the gray, Doacine of the yellow, Siain as the white, and Saren as the brown sitter.
Yes.
And we know from the Crossroads of Twilight prologue that Saren is in charge.
Yeah, because initially it was Siain and Pavara who, like, started this club.
Yeah.
And then the other ones came in, and then Saren, the brown, which was a little bit interesting just because she is a brown, she took charge. So, yeah, we did get to see all that stuff. Okay. And Egwene recognizes all of them, so we get those names from her with a big old description of all of them.
Yeah. And I like how she's surprised that Saren the brown is authoritative.
Yeah.
She's like, browns usually suck.
Yeah. They're the worst.
Yeah.
So yeah, then we get this like little stare-off thing. So they all see Egwene because they know Maidani's supposed to come here to report on the meeting with Egwene.
Yeah, they're like, what have you done?
Yeah, what have you done? And they all get like hustled into the room, and then the sitters are on the boxes. And I love that Egwene sits down with them.
Yeah.
And then the sitters are like, you're not allowed to sit.
They're like, you can't sit down.
And she doesn't get up.
Just doesn't
she just
get
keeps
up.
sitting, yeah. And then they ignore her and start into Maidani.
And they're like, no one gave you leave to speak. And then she just keeps speaking. And then they just start answering her questions.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's such a power move by Egwene. So just in order here, they tell Maidani, like, oh, your oath should have prevented you from doing this. And that's when Egwene jumps in. She's like, oath? What oath? What oath are you talking about? I want to know about that oath.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
What you've done is horrendous.
Well, and they also smack her with air.
Yeah.
And then Egwene's almost laughs because
she's
like that after
was
all
nothing. Yeah.
So good at this.
A little tap.
Yeah, you know.
A switch with air.
Yeah. And then Maidani gets a little bit of fire and she's like, I didn't break my oath. You said don't tell anyone. I didn't tell her.
Yeah.
I showed her.
And they're like, ooh, we're going to have to adjust those.
Yeah,
oaths.
Fix up those oaths. And it's like, whoa, okay.
And Egwene's like, nuh-uh, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, well, she figures it out pretty quick. She's like, you gave her a 4th oath, didn't you? How could you?
Yep.
Who would even think of doing that?
I don't know.
Not her.
Maybe you, Egwene.
Not 2.5 months ago.
Jeez.
Oh, no. Okay.
Okay, but we're just moving past that, because, like, maybe she wouldn't do it again.
That's true. Like, she did, okay, we gotta give credit where credit's due. She did change her mind on that aspect of things. We've heard various opinions on the difference between the two, but
this is the hypocritical high horse I was talking about earlier.
Yeah. I'm under the impression that it's all in the same category. Mm-hmm. Like, sure, maybe different varieties, different flavors of ice cream. It's all ice cream, though.
It's all ice cream, but the reasons... Some flavors are better than others? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that analogy doesn't really actually work. But that's okay.
Yeah.
I like ice cream.
They're all going to make my stomach hurt, so it doesn't matter. Sure, some flavors are better than others. It's not going to end well.
No. It's a pretty fine line. The difference between the two. But,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, so Egwene is going to do more for like, I don't need permission to speak. I'm the Emerald Seat. How dare you? What have you done? You betrayed everything. Has this entire tower gone insane? Everyone's insane. So she kind of goes on like her little rant.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. And then Yukiri starts to tell Egwene that she should be careful because they're all aware of her involvement with the rebels.
Yeah, you're not going to get coddled forever. Do you even know what we might do to you if we had our way?
Yeah.
No, but okay.
And Egwene's like, I don't know, still me, execute me, beat me, it doesn't matter. The ones you're calling the rebels aren't the ones having secret meetings in the basements and administering their own oaths, which is a crime at least equal to what Elida has done.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's like somewhere in here where she's like, I would rather die than see the tower, yada yada. So.
Yeah.
But it's there. It's good. I like it. Okay.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, what a crime.
But I mean, that's kind of the level that you got to take it to, because with these Black Jaw hunters, like, she does have a point where they did very quickly go back on their whole, like, oh, we're just going to do a little bit of the fourth oath thing. Like, we're only going to do it to protect ourselves. But, like, they really slippery slope that in the worst way possible.
Yep.
Like, very quickly.
Yeah.
Because they started it with the Black Aja thing. It's like, that made sense.
Yeah.
We can do the oath to find the Black Aja, and they found one. But then they were like, oh, and now we found some rebels. Let's just keep doing that.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, they're not Black Aja. They're just rebels. And like, you didn't
and then
at
now
all.
Anybody that you've interrogated, like, you need to give them another oath so that they don't tell anyone what you're doing. Exactly.
So it's like, it has gone way out of control here.
All right. So now Cian tells Egwene that she shouldn't question them because difficult decisions had to be made. And then this is where she spills the beans about the whole Dark Friends,
which is kind of funny,
Hunter it's like, situation.
Hey, Cian, maybe shut up about all the stuff that you're doing to Egwene. Like, why are you so free with information about and justifying?
And like Dark Friends.
Yeah. Like Black Aja, like the worst of the worst. The stuff that you guys don't even like talking about.
Well,
and
I
you're
don't
just
know.
like openly well, like before, like in the before times.
Yeah.
Talking about the Black Aja was like a huge no-no.
Yeah, yeah.
Like in any context. But in her argument, she also justifies that it's like, hey, we proved to Donnie that we're not Dark Friends, so they did the oath too and showed her. So it's fine. There's no harm giving her an oath to make sure we're all working towards the same goals. Yeah. But it's like, that's not the purpose. Like, sure, the oath is good to prove you're not Dark Friends. I can get on board with that.
Yeah.
But not just so that you're doing the same thing. So she's forcibly doing the same thing you want her to do. Like, that's not good justification.
Okay, so Egwene wants to put aside whether or not this is appropriate for now, because we don't got time.
Yeah, table
so
it. Okay.
She asks what they found out about Elida and who gave them this task.
Yeah.
And Yukiri doesn't know why they're even speaking to her. Like, she's kind of a bitch.
She keeps trying to go back on that.
Yeah. And Egwene is like, well, if I'm going to help, then I need to be aware of all the facts. And they're like, you're not here to help. And then they just like start talking amongst themselves again about how they need to gather others.
Yeah.
And make sure their orders are worded better. And Egwene is like, well,
it's literally like the
this must mean they've made all the spies swear.
Yes, she does figure that out too. I just love it because it's clear, it's the Aes Sedai and their attitude towards people they view as below them. They'll just talk in front of them because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, they should have stopped talking in front of Egwene at the beginning.
Yeah.
They should have never talked in front of her about anything until they figured out what they wanted to do.
Right. And then something occurs to Egwene. She's like, have you found some actual members of the Black Aja?
Yeah, like it.
And then she gets threatened with being set for punishment. And Egwene's like, yeah, I'll go for punishment. It's actually pretty full right now, my schedule.
She kind of pins it on her. It's like, okay, well, how is that gonna... Like, you're not in my schedule. Yeah. So what, I'm going to walk up to her and say, oh, you guys sent me? Like, what's that? That's going to open up a whole bunch of questions.
She does say that.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of questions you're not going to want to answer.
Yeah. And
that's
they're like, oh, we'll just say Donnie ordered it.
Yeah.
And Egwene is like, yeah, but she's not going to do that. She accepts me as the Amerlin seat.
Yeah.
And they're like, we'll just order her to send you for penance.
And then she's like, gotcha.
And Egwene's like, haha.
Gotcha.
I knew it.
Gotcha.
This is why the oath of obedience is a terrible idea.
Right. And I mean, she does immediately call them out on it and gives them a very good example. Like, hey, this literally isn't just about protecting the tower.
Because if it was, then maybe she could let it go.
Exactly.
Or maybe she could understand the use of it.
Like, if it was only for the whole Black Aja hunting thing,
I could... definitely... You're abusing your power.
Like, immediately went to the abusing the power that you have.
So now here's the question. Has Egwene abused this power with the ones who've sworn to her?
If you ask me, I'd say yeah.
Yeah. Like Donnie and Bayonin?
I mean...
Specifically?
Yeah, maybe not to the... Well, maybe I could probably include them.
Because they gave an oath to... And she's been manipulating them since
I would
She's
say,
been in the tower.
Egwene oversteps all the time in a whole lot of areas.
Yeah.
She abuses power all the time, I think.
Yeah, and I think for her it's different because it's not sworn on the oath rod, and so she doesn't really... Because as somebody who's never experienced the oath rod, she hasn't said the oaths, like, I can't lie.
Yeah.
And so maybe she doesn't quite understand that what she's done is very similar.
Yeah. I can see that, and I would maybe even throw the argument in there that her having the Damani experience should make her more, like, I don't know, careful about making people, like, forcing people to do things.
Yeah.
Because she does have that aspect of, like, being forced to do stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like she's really compartmentalizing.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, I don't think that even comes into any of this.
No, I know,
You know?
but maybe it should.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, that's why Egwene is such, like, a lover and hater, because... Yeah. I do like when she does awesome things.
Well, and even her points here, like,
she
she stays super cool under pressure.
Yeah.
She's doing a great job of all this, so...
She does a fantastic job of manipulating all these people into doing what we kind of want to see happen.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
That doesn't make it good.
Yeah. So, Yukiri steps in again and tries to shut down this entire conversation with Egwene.
Yeah.
And then Saren.
Yeah.
Says, don't worry, I'll deal with her.
This is so good.
And then turns to Egwene and says, we must have your obedience, and we can't swear you on the oath rod, and you probably wouldn't even swear it anyways.
Yeah, so here we go. She's going to use...
The power of reason.
Yeah, and here's the thing. This is... So... She's brown. She's not white Aja with all the logic.
Yeah.
And her logic that Saren brings up here is just like the worst.
It's so bad.
It's so many bad arguments all in a row.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bad.
She's like, you can't be Amerlin. You can barely channel.
You've been fork-rooted.
And Egwene is like, is the Amerlin seat authority based on her ability to channel?
And like maybe if like the whole inherently weak thing, like maybe because like that's a terrible system.
Yeah.
But I can see where they're like, oh, you're too weak to be Amerlin. You can't channel enough. That we need someone who can channel a lot to at least show the strength.
Just in case.
Yeah, I can understand that. But it's like she's literally fork-rooted by a lot. Like, what?
Yeah, and so Egwene is like, that's a terrible argument.
That's bad.
Yeah, and then Saren is like, well, you've been demoted to novice.
It's like, well...
And Egwene's like, only if Elida's stupid enough to assume she can remove an Aes Sedai rank.
Yeah, and it's like, you shouldn't have let her do that, number one. In the
first place.
Yeah, and number two, I don't agree with it, so whatever.
Yeah, and then the white Aja Siain says, Elida is the Amerlin because she was raised properly by the Hall. Yeah. Therefore, you can't be Amerlin.
All right.
And Egwene is like, okay, listen here.
Yeah.
The way that Elida was raised was also horseshit.
Yeah, it was. Terrible. So... she didn't say horseshit. She said shameful and unorthodox.
Whatever. Horseshit.
Same.
Bullshit.
It means the same, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All of it.
But
all
this is
shit.
when we get into like
shit.
This is the logic that Egwene is going to hit him with. And it's like, I do love Egwene as a character because she pulls out stuff like this. Such a good argument. She's like, okay, here we go. Have you interrogated any women who are currently sitters? Have any Black Aja members been found among the sitters specifically? And there's like this little look between them. And Egwene's like, okay, so that's a yes.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
You guys suck. Just don't look at each other.
Yeah. No. But it also makes sense because she's like, hey, if I were Black Aja, I would try to get my other dark friends to be sitters. Obviously. Or like, I don't know, Amerlins, maybe keepers, stuff like that.
And if I were Forsaken,
I would try to do that.
Also want the people who are in charge here.
Yeah, to be the Black Aja. Like, that makes sense. Okay, so tell me this. Were any of the Black sitters among those who raised Elida, and did any of them stand to depose Swan?
Because Swan was deposed by the bare minimum.
Yes, that's the entire issue. Bare minimum number of sitters. One of them was Black Aja, which means that
their vote was invalid.
It's invalid. They don't count because they're Black Aja. Doesn't count.
Yeah.
So then technically, you stilled and deposed Swan and murdered her warder, and you did it like unlawfully, which is the logical side of like that whole you didn't do it by the books and the rules that you guys implement and say you're sticking by.
Yeah.
And then there's silence, and I love the power move again by Egwene. She's like, answer me.
Yeah.
Like, tell me that I'm right here.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no.
And Siain is like, yeah, she's right. But Yukiri's still being a bitch.
Yeah.
She's still trying to shut this down.
Yeah.
Because if they second guess everything, then who knows how many Amerlins might have been raised by members of the Black Aja.
But it's like, yeah, maybe you should be concerned with that. Maybe you should be worried that all of the Amerlins ever have been like influenced by the Black Aja. We should be worried about this. This is a good area where we can focus our attention on something we should be concerned with.
Yeah, we should suspect every single Amerlin ever.
It's like they're literally fucking with your entire system of governance.
Yeah.
Yes.
But how many were raised to the hall by the exact minimum number of members sitting? When I was raised, we made certain that every sitter in Saladar was aware of what was happening. And Euchre's like, they were false sitters.
They're not even real.
They're not even real sitters. And Egwene asks her which Amerlin she'd rather follow. The one demoting Aes Sedai and banishing an entire Aja and causing all of this division in the tower.
The garbage in
the streets.
Ugh.
Or one trying to undo all of that.
Right? Okay.
So Sayarin is like, we can't change the past, but Egwene tells them that they can focus on bringing the tower back together.
That's the main priority.
That's the main goal.
Yes.
And she's super motivated by the fact that they're all different Ajas sitting in this room together, working together for a common goal.
Yeah, like, we gotta start somewhere, and this is a good place, and then the heads of the Aja, that's a good place, too.
Yeah.
Like, we can make some headway here.
Yeah. And Egwene's like, do you have the Oath Rod right now? Because I'll swear on it.
Yeah, I want to do that.
I'll do it.
Yeah, and also, like, we'll hold up, because, like, that would be a thing to answer questions about.
Yes. But no, they don't.
No, they don't. It's not here. It's hard to get. It's not here. Now, I do like this, because Egwene's like, hey, Maidani, here's the command. I want you to keep working with these women, even though it sucks, and you're going to have to keep, like, going to these weird dinner dates with Elijah. Yeah, but then
again, she does the whole leadership thing, where she says...
The praise.
I thank you for what you're doing.
Yeah, like, acknowledge and praise you.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, good job.
Acknowledgement.
Good job.
Validating what she's doing is important.
All those things, and Maidani's like, yes.
Yeah, but she also orders them to remove the fourth oath.
Oh yeah, she does. She's like, here's what you're going to do. You're going to get that oath rod, you're going to take that oath off.
Yeah, and they're like, well, think about it. And Egwene is like, all right. And once the White Tower's whole again, the Hall is going to learn about what you've done here. And I would like to be able to tell them that you were being careful instead of just making this whole thing a whole power grab.
Yeah, because like one way you're currently doing the power grab thing, you got to start backing up a little bit.
Yeah.
Here.
And then she's like, I gotta get out of here, and I'd rather not travel on tower grounds again if I can help it.
Yeah,
and
just
that's
like,
just a little
nugget.
mic drop at the end there, a little sprinkle of like, I can do a lot of good things that you don't even know
it's like,
about.
oh, traveling? You don't know about traveling?
That's how I got down
You would
here.
love traveling, but I can't. I'm not gonna.
I can't do it right here, right now. Do it later, maybe.
Shoot. Anyways, it's pretty funny. It's good.
Yep. And then Egwene turns to leave, and Maidani follows after her. And then when they're out, Maidani's like, oh my god, I can't believe that you succeeded in there.
Yeah. Egwene kind of has that same respect for the Black Aja hunters here as she does for Selviana. She's like, oh, they're
the only ones using their brains
in
this
they got
tower.
head on their shoulders, right? Like, they're doing what they should be doing, even though maybe Selviana shouldn't be doing, like, at least she's doing her job properly.
Mm-hmm.
So... there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, if there were more Aes Sedai like her in the tower, we wouldn't be in this situation.
Yeah, okay.
And Maidani's like, you really are the Amerlin.
I love Egwene. It's like, didn't you just you just told me that you thought I was. Like, what?
Yeah, I thought you were, but now I'm like, no, now I know.
Yeah.
I was just like doing that thing where I'm playing along.
Yeah, Maidani's like actually convincing herself. She's like, oh shit. Like,
oh shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a good chapter. I like this one.
Yeah, and now it's time for them to get back.
Yeah.
And how are they going to do that?
Yeah, travel back. The gateway's probably still open. Why wouldn't it be?
Oh, really?
Why not?
Oh, they just left it open?
Maybe.
Okay, cool.
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
I mean, like, kind of.
Make it back.
Kind of matters. It makes you think about it, but all right.
Yeah.
Here we are. Okay. Now we're teaming up with them.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Yeah. Well, Egwene was part of the original Black Hunter group.
She didn't bring that up at all.
No, she didn't.
Yeah. She's been like, I was OG. Like.
Yeah. I've been hunting the Black Aja for a year.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it's been. 2 years?
Year and a half? Not
year
2
and a half.
Years. Not 2 years.
Not years.
Year
and a bit.
Right.
Yeah. So, watch out.
Yeah.
Right? Because I know a thing or two.
Yeah.
Ladies.
I was going to say,
who are 100 years old.
I was going to try and tally up like how many they've... I think Egwene's doing better.
Egwene's doing really good in her current position.
Oh, I meant like in the Black Aja hunting of Black Aja. Like
Yeah,
how many
you know
has
who's,
she
like-
found versus
Well,
how many have we like found and brought to justice? I don't know.
mhm.
I don't know if I want to play that game.
I don't know if they've ever done any of it, though, really.
Okay, well they found the first one at least. So
Who?
the Black Aja hunters, they found like the very first one for them.
Did they?
They had the whole and they tortured her with the
Oh, there were
with
two
the vacation
of them.
chair.
Oh,
Remember?
well, that was the Black Aja Hunters. This,
That's what I was saying.
like the sitters.
Yeah, the Black Aja hunters.
Yeah, they did.
They found the one.
Well,
They
I'm
found
talking about the original Elaine, Nynaeve, and Egwene.
Yeah.
How many have they found?
Yeah, well, they found a whole bunch of them, but they didn't really do a heck of a lot with them.
No.
They got those two of them
Those
killed.
two in Tyr.
Those
That's
two
what I
got-
thought you were talking
yeah,
about.
Yeah,
And then, well, at one point, they had a Forsaken
yeah.
captured.
Well, I mean, I guess Elaine played a little bit of cleanup crew because, like, a bunch of with the whole kidnapping thing. Anyway.
Oh, the kidnapping thing.
We
I was
really don't
like,
have to
what?
do this right now.
The kidnapping thing. I guess she does. One of them's dead, and the rest are kidnapped
yeah.
in Camelin.
Yeah. Okay. I think overall we can say that the originals are doing slightly better.
Are they?
I don't know if I want. Actually, I might want to
Egwene
backtrack
personally,
this.
though, mm-mm.
Yeah. Okay.
Nah, she abandoned
Right.
that hunt
She did.
real fast.
Okay.
They got to Tyr, and then she was like, done with that game.
Yep. Got more. I got to do Aiel.
I gotta go do an Aiel thing.
Gotta learn how
Yeah.
to fly around Dejigo.
She did do that.
Okay. It's fine. Okay. You get to read 2 chapters.
2!
Yeah.
That means we all get to read 2 chapters.
Exactly. Okay.
That means you have lots of notes to do.
It's roughly the same.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're 2 sort of shorter.
Okay. That's good then.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so before you go ahead and just create a new job position for yourself, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted and edited by Dani and Brett, produced by Dani and Brett with Passion Socks, Cody Feltz, Benjamin, Jamie Young, Megan, Jared Berg, Ricky Morissette, Lance Barden, Adam, Mozyme, Michelle Forbes, MKM, Antoine Benoit, Lawrence Bradley, Colby T, and Gabby Young. With music by Audionautics. Please be sure to check out our Patreon page if you are interested in supporting us and the podcast. We'd love to send you some Patreon exclusive merchandise as a thank you. Plus, you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else. And at the time of recording, we have over 45 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. Find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show, like information on how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, how to get in touch with us, you can visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. And as always, please be sure to give us that 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference in helping other people find us. And if you write us a really nice review and put your Instagram or Twitter handle in the review on Apple Podcasts, we will be picking people at random to be giving out some merchandise like stickers and bookmarks, and we'll send them out to those people as a huge thank you. Now be sure to tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.